Okay, fabulous. All right, welcome everyone. And if you are catching the replay, welcome to the replay. So you are here for a very important reason tonight. You've taken time out of your busy schedules at your rest time at night to jump in and find out more about the science behind fat loss and what the hell is Suzanne up to behind the scenes with what I've been looking at and working with and getting so excited about lately. So that is MHE3, and I want to talk to you all tonight about how that is an absolute game changer and how it is affecting people in a positive way in terms of weight. So if you don't know me, my name is Suzanne Ingleton. I am a clinical hypnotherapist. I'm an eating psychology coach. And I've been in the health and wellness space for about 18 years. I started off as a personal trainer. I used to run around the great outdoors on the Gold Coast with lots and lots of people. And we had an absolute ball. It was the best years of my life. So I love being outside. The reason that I did that is because quite a serious health condition. I was recovering from cancer. And I really wanted to work with people to be the fittest and healthiest versions of themselves. And I had that huge passion and drive. And so moving through the years, I still have that passion and drive to help people to be the healthiest versions of themselves. Although I hung up my training boots several years ago, I am still very active in the health and wellness space, and that is my absolute passion, and more so in the mind space now. So I do a lot of work in the mind. I'm a trained eating psychology coach. I've done a lot of work with nutrition, neurolinguistics, and looking at things from that perspective, because there's this thing called the mind-body connection, and it really, when I was a PT, it really wasn't talked about. The mind wasn't a thing, but it certainly is now, and that's where I focus, and particularly helping people with emotional and binge eating, but really helping them people to break through their mental, emotional, and physical pain, because this is where a lot of our challenges stem from, and I like to get to the root cause of those challenges. So what I discovered in just a very few short months ago in September, and I discovered a product. I didn't discover it personally. Someone told me about it. And I have never, ever promoted a product before. I've never endorsed anything. And when I came across this, it was with a degree of skepticism to start with, rolled my eyes and went, yep, sure. And then I looked into it, and I was just so impressed, and I sought advice and endorsement from my naturopathy friends, from people with medical backgrounds, and I got the thumbs up all round. And the implications for me to help my clients to increase and elevate their results was mind-boggling, because of the mind. The work that I do with the mind just really releases the blockages in the body from being able to lose that visceral fat. And this MHE3 really addresses those other parts of the mind and body from a physiological, biological perspective, that just brings it all together. And it really is changing the face of health. And that's where, I am super, super passionate to bring this awareness and, into my community, and see that ripple effect. And there's a ripple effect all over the world. And so that's what I'm excited about tonight. And understanding fat loss, because it's been a mystery. There's obviously science behind it, but so many people find it so difficult to shift that visceral fat. And it's obviously, it's definitely not a good fat to hang on to. It's something that we really want to let go. This product, MHE3, it just brings it all together. And that's what I want to talk to you about tonight. This is not a sales pitch. And I'll go through a couple of things, but this is an awareness and education on what is happening in your body when it comes to fat, and having a better understanding of why perhaps it's not shifting in the space that you want it, from the space that you want it to shift. All right. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to share my screen. But also, if you do have questions, please pop them in the comments. I am going to do a Q&A afterwards, and we'll cover off on those things. Now, firstly, can everyone see my screen? Is that a yes? Oh, good. Good. So, firstly, I just want to cover off on just the legal bits. So this presentation is for educational purposes only, and it's not intended to replace professional medical advice. Always consult a qualified healthcare provider for guidance on your specific condition. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA, and individual results may vary. So who is this for? This is for people who are curious about the latest advancements in natural health. And it's for those that are struggling with weight or their metabolic health. And perhaps you have not heard of what the implications are of metabolic health, you know, what the implications are. And I want to talk, I will touch on metabolic syndrome as we move through. This is for busy people, busy professionals and parents, wellness practitioners and professionals, sports and fitness enthusiasts, and anyone feeling stuck with their health and their weight, because this addresses all of these things, which is why I'm super, super excited. It's not just a targeted thing. It addresses your the whole package. Now, who this is not for: quick fix seekers. Quick fix fat loss is not good fat loss. As much as we've been conditioned to seek to look for quick fixes, wherever and however we got to where we are, generally doesn't happen in a very short time. It happens over a long period of time. So we need to work with our bodies, not against our bodies, in the natural order of things, so that what occurs is sustainable. So this is another thing that I really love about this. There's no quick fix stuff here. There have been a lot of people who have got some really great results in a short period of time, and it's ongoing. So the kind of results that they are getting are varied, because every body is different. And so this is what I really love, is watching other people get a whole range of results, including me. I've had some incredible results. So this is not for those who are not interested in holistic health, not willing to explore new ways of doing things, not ready to take action to improve their health. Fair enough, you want to come and have a look, absolutely fine. But, you know, if you're someone that just, you know, poo-poos anything, then this isn't for you. Those looking for a product pitch, like I said, I'm not pitching anything. This is a masterclass about education and awareness. I'm not selling anything tonight. I want you to be aware of what is happening out there. There are lots and lots of people starting to talk about this. And if you come across it, then at least you've had tonight an informed decision of how it's going to work for you. The last thing I want you to do is have an unrealistic expectation about what this product can do. I do want you to have just a greater understanding of what is happening in your body, so that you're not feeling, and so like so many of my clients feel that they've been butting their head up against a brick wall for so many years with this yo-yo dieting, because they've been told to do this and do that, and it's just not working because what they've been told is just so outdated. And it's no one's fault. It's just what society is, how we learned how to think about weight and its loss, if that's been a challenge for you. So I want you to be aware that there are so many pieces of this puzzle, and tonight is just really a small piece. But the bit that fits in, the MHE3, really addresses so many of those pieces. So that's what I love about it. So this is the product. So this is MHE3. It's labeled as Fix. So you'll find it if you're coming across it. It comes in like a pillow pack, and it's these little snap things. So you just simply grab your glass of water or any beverage, and you just snap it. And there's a liquid that comes out. There's a couple of drops that came out, but I've already used that one. So that's what it is. But we're going to talk more about what's in it, because that's the important thing. What is in it? Like, what is this thing? The role of the vagus nerve, which is incredibly important and plays a huge part in the success of this natural plant product. I want to talk about your gut hormones. There's quite a few, and I've tried to simplify it as much as possible. So once again, you've got a different understanding. The science around fat burning, the holistic health benefits, I can't stress that enough, holistic, lots of different overall health benefits, why it's a game changer, and where to from here. So what is it? What is MHE3? MHE3 is the key ingredient in that product, Fix. It's derived from a matured hops extract, which is a plant traditionally known for its calming and sleep enhancing properties. So what makes it extraordinary is its ability to directly impact visceral fat, but also by calming the nervous system, but also it impacts so many other parts of our body. And this is where there are so many side benefits. White visceral toxic fat loss is just one of them. There are so many more. And what I've come to be aware of when I've been working, with clients, particularly over the last 6 years, in the mind, that stress is a major contributor to weight gain. So flat out, stress is the biggest blocker to weight loss. Stress and lack of sleep. But if you're not sleeping, you're likely to be stressed. And so if we don't address the stress, then you're going to find it really difficult for your body to release weight. Your body is going to be in a stressed fight or flight state, which naturally it will hold on to weight, store fat, and not build muscle. So this is really key to know. If you're trying to lose weight, it's not happening for you, and you're stressed about not losing weight yet, and you have all this other stress going on in your life, and all this internal nasty negative self-talk that's going on inside, then it's going to be very, very challenging for you to lose weight, and sustainably long term. So this is where, as a clinical hypnotherapist and an eating psychology coach, I've always looked to the root cause. What is the root cause of this stress? What is creating it? Because the stress derives a chemical reaction in your body. It produces too much cortisol, too much insulin, fat-producing hormone or storage hormone. And by having all of this going on in your life, it's really tripping you up. We need to get to the root cause. Otherwise, anything else is a band-aid effect. Weight gain is always a symptom of something else that is going on. And the solution lies in the problem. And so this is where I work with people on a daily basis to look at, well, what is the problem? Is it work? Is it family? Is it self-talk? Is it nutrition? Is it lack of sleep? There's many problems, many pieces of this puzzle that create the problem of weight gain. But that is the symptom. We need to backtrack to get to the root cause of it. So this is where MHE3 really enhances the work that I do, because it addresses cortisol levels. Because it comes from the hops plant, which is a naturally occurring calmative. You'll find that practitioners have been using it for hundreds of years for menopausal women, hormonal women, because it has this calmative effect. And when we are in a calmer state, we make better choices. We reduce our stress levels. We reduce cortisol. We reduce insulin levels. We create a ripple effect overall. So I can't stress this enough, that stress is one of the areas that you really need to focus on, because everything changes from there. But what is it? What is the MHE3 made up of? So it's a plant. It's like on a vine. It has these, now I can't think of the name of these things, but it's got these little bracket things. And this is the hops plant. So yes, hops is the plant that beer is manufactured from. But this isn't about beer. This is about completely different extracts from the hop plant. So it's made up of alpha and beta acids from the hops plant. So, and these acids, they're bitter acids. They target visceral fat and they activate fat burning via thermogenesis. And I'll talk more about that as we go. It also supports the digestive function, supports digestion, cognitive function, and stress reduction. So what we're looking at is this link between emotional health and physical health. And that's what I love about this plant, and the fact that it calms the nervous system. So it not only improves fat metabolism, but it improves sleep quality. If you're not sleeping, you're also going to find it very difficult to lose weight. Your body is constantly in a stress state. And if you're, waking up constantly, and when I say sleeping, I mean sleeping all night. That's horizontal all night, no waking up, no getting up. That is when your body is at rest, and that is when your body does its best healing. Its only healing really is when we're, flat out. If you're getting up and down, you're not getting a good quality sleep. Quality sleep is just super, super important. So what we find is, I would have to say it's 99% of people find that sleep immediately improves. I know within the first 2 days, my sleep, I noticed a deeper quality sleep. It was pretty much instant. And so I knew if I'm getting a better quality sleep, I'm going to have better energy the next day. I started dreaming. I hadn't dreamed for, I can't remember how long. I was always very light sleeper, stressy sleeper. But all of a sudden it was, horizontal all night, good, deep quality. I felt like I'd had a sleep. So that is pretty much the main thing that 99% of people will experience first off. Because like I said, if we're getting good sleep, we're feeling better emotionally, and we've got more energy to do things. We're not so tired reaching for the quick and easy fixes. But the other thing that this product does is that it helps to restore the gut-brain axis. So the link between the gut and the gut and the brain. It's interesting to know that the quality of your food totally affects the quality of your mood. So pretty much crappy food, crappy mood. It's so important to make sure that whatever you are eating, it's the best quality you can get your hands on. Fresh, always fresh, because you're going to think better, you're going to think clearer, your inflammation, all these things are going to start reducing. And MHE3, the absolutely helps to address inflammation and improve your cognition. So I noticed that I was remembering things a lot easier, thinking I was a lot clearer, less scattered. So many things improved for me from a mind state. So the actual ingredient, the actual liquid, is colorless, flavorless, odorless. It's a nothing. It just doesn't taste like anything. And it's extracted by a particular patent pending process. So there is nothing like this on the market. You can't buy the same thing on supermarket shelves or the naturopaths or the herbalist or anything. There's just nothing like this. This is the one and only because of the specialized way that it's the liquid has been extracted and what it is extracting. So what is it extracting? It's extracting alpha acids. Now, these alpha acids activate the brown adipose tissue, the BAT, B-A-T, the BAT fat, and that's what creates thermogenesis. And thermogenesis is a natural body function where the body raises its temperature. So your internal temperature rises, and that creates energy. And that energy is a derivative of the white visceral toxic fat that it's burning up, which is a good thing. We don't want to keep the nasty white fat in our body. We want to burn it up. And so for those that really want to know exactly what these things are, these acids, there's 3 of them. There's alpha acids, so they're bitter acids found in hops that work on fat metabolism and digestion. So that's the first acid that comes from it. They also activate the gut hormones, cholecystokinin, which are otherwise known as CCK. And that's important to know because that helps regulate your appetite and your digestion. So if you're struggling with food, too much, not enough, too much, no on or off button, then the CCK helps to regulate your appetite. And that's the other thing. Day 2, no, I think it was day 1, I noticed that all of a sudden I wasn't hungry anymore, wasn't craving anything. I just, I know that I need to eat and I do eat, but I'm not feeling like I'm hungry unless it's, within a reasonable window of time. In fact, everything, the amount of food, and I don't need to lose weight, but I do know that I've obviously been overeating at some point because, my body shrank just a little bit, which is an indication that there's some sort of visceral fat with all the other things that, I noticed changes within my body. So there's alpha acids that work on metabolism, fat metabolism and digestion. There's beta acids, and this is another class of bitter acids known for their inflammatory and antimicrobial properties. So inflammation is a huge precursor to metabolic syndrome. Inflammation is things like achy joints, bloating, foggy mind, and inflammation is really part of the body's defense mechanism that is going, well, I don't know what this is. Every time we eat processed foods, every time we eat food that's not real, the body goes, well, I don't know what to do with this. This isn't real food. So it shoves it away into our fat stores because it's not real, it's toxic. And fat is actually the storage system of the safety mechanism, storage system of the body to put all the stuff that it doesn't know what to do with, that it can't do anything with, puts it into our fat stores, the white toxic visceral fat. And this fat, these fat cells, they have, they just keep getting bigger and bigger. Like, that they will just get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. If the body's got nowhere to put toxins from either the food that you eat or, the environment of where you are, and it's not safe for your body and your organs are starting to struggle, it goes into fat stores. Not helpful from an overall health perspective if it's not able to be released. So the beta acids support, help us with inflammation. And they also help to support a healthier microbiome. So that's the gut. They're the little guys in your gut that process and assimilate food. Food is medicine. Food is nutrition. If we're not eating real food, if we're constantly stressed, those poor little guys, those gut microbiome, they don't know what's going on. When you're stressed, they're stressed. If they're stressed, they're not processing that food well. If they're not processing the food properly or whatever you're eating, then the rest of your body is not being nourished. And so once again, it's struggling to do what it was designed to do. And if there's a high amount of toxicity in the body, we're going to have very low energy, suffering from weight gain, aches and pains, foggy mind, bloating, all sorts of things. So these bitter acids really, the bitter acids are here to start working and supporting our gut microbiome. The third acid is an isoalpha acid. So it helps with fat metabolism, particularly by stimulating thermogenesis in the brown adipose tissue, the bat fat. And it also helps to improve the gut-brain connection through the vagus nerve. So the vagus nerve is that information highway that connects the mind and the gut. But not only the gut, there's all sorts of other organs and systems within the body that it supports. So like I said, there's nothing out there on the market that's like this, which means, and it's a patent pending product or process, sorry, which means the way that it's been produced will never be revealed. So you won't be able to find it anywhere else. Research, some people, and I certainly wanted to know about the research, tell me about that, is that it's been, hops has been researched since the early 1950s, so long time ago, decades ago. But back then they didn't have the technology, they didn't have the knowledge. They certainly had the will to work out, what this hops does to a human body, and these studies were done on humans, which is good to know. It wasn't just done on, animals, because we're humans, we're taking it. It was really enhanced. The research was really enhanced back in 2016, and I can send you all of the research papers if that's what you would like. But it was done through independent, randomized, double-blind, placebo-controlled, parallel group studies. It was all published in the Nutrition Journal in 2016. So it was all independent. Studies have been done in different areas. There's different journals and different publications where you'll find studies on the benefits and the efficacy of the bitters matured hops extract. And so clinical trials, these are clinical trials that, like I said, have been done on humans. And all of the write-ups say that there was significant beneficial results in regards to targeting white visceral toxic fat. So from what I understand, that for a research paper to say significant results is quite unusual. So it just really shows to people who are in the know of research that it was serious, and it was beneficial, and they were significant results. They wouldn't have said that any other way. All right. So the vagus nerve, the role of the vagus nerve. What does it do? It helps to connect the brain and the gut and everything else in between. It's not just organs, it's our body systems as well. The MHE3 flips the switch of the vagus nerve to activate the body's key organs and systems. So if you, particularly this time of year, you're probably all familiar with a Christmas tree with all the lights, and they go twinkle, twinkle, and there's all, you know, lots of little lights all over the place. Well, if something's not working on a Christmas tree, the lights start going out, right? They're all connected, but something goes wrong, and you know, maybe a globe blows, and some of those lights don't work anymore. Sometimes the body is a bit like that. We've got all these systems and organs and things going on in our body. They're all supposed to light up like a Christmas tree with, you know, as in perfect health. However, we're not always like that. And some of these lights just, you know, they flicker and they wane and they go out. So we're only functioning on, you know, half, three quarters, I don't know, not all of them anyway. So this product, MHE3, has been likened to lighting up your Christmas tree, lighting up the lights again. So it looks at all the parts of you that are not working properly. It has a bit of a triage component. It will identify the things that need the work the most, and that's what it will work on, which is just incredible for a plant, a natural plant. Some people said initially it was like an adaptogen. It adapted itself to wherever it was needed, but now it's more, they're saying, no, it's an activator. It just absolutely activates what it needs to activate. And the body goes in 90-day cycles of, I don't know how you would explain it, 90-day cycles of repair. And so it will work on one thing essentially for 90 days. You might have lots of different things not working for you. So I can tell you, maybe a bit too much information, but my gut, I've never had good gut health. For the past 3 months, I've been having an interesting time with my gut, but it's starting to balance out and steady out now, thank goodness. So I know that this 90-day cycle, and I'm not as bloated, I'm regular, I'm feeling really, really good, whereas I was not feeling good for lots of reasons before. So I know that this thing is doing this 90-day cycle, and I'm just waiting for it to work on the next thing. So who knows what that might be. But the role of the vagus nerve. So here we go, very simplified, but all these different organs, lungs, liver, intestines, kidneys, gut, heart, brain, all these parts of us look at, the vagus nerve looks at regulating all of these into the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the rest and digest part of our systems. So we need to rest in order to digest properly. A stressed gut will not digest food. This is part of being a human. If your body thinks that you're being chased by a saber-toothed tiger, it does not want to digest your beautiful, you know, Christmas turkey. It wants to put all the energy from the gut into the arms and legs for fighting or quick running. So your food is not digested if you're in a constant state of stress. You're not getting the nutrition that you need. So the vagus nerve helps to activate the parasympathetic nervous system, and the MHE3 goes in to bat with the vagus nerve, which is amazing. We need to have this resting system happening in our body, because this is where we do the healing. So the vagus nerve not only plays this role in the from organ perspective, but also our emotional regulation. So like I said, you know, if we're not eating good food, then we're not going to have a good mood. However, if you are eating good food and you are starting to digest it, you're just feeling better in the gut, less bloating, then you're going to feel better in the mind. So we're having more of a regulated emotional response, rather than not having a good time of it, reaching for food to self-soothe, which is a very natural, normal response for a human, to eat to feel better. That's what we do. We're designed to do that. However, if we do that over a period of time, like a long period of time, it can become an unhelpful habit. So when we start regulating our gut, when we start reducing our stress, we start to make better choices. We're not looking to eat to feel better. We're looking to eat to nourish, or food isn't, you know, top of mind all the time. We're not in a constant mental battle with what are we going to eat, when are we going to eat, I don't feel good, blah 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 blah. You know, the old stories that go around and around in your head. So MHE3 really, you know, it's looking at the parasympathetic nervous system, which, you know, regulates everything. And so it also stimulates the vagal nerve receptors in the gut. So that's where our gut becomes calmer. The gut microbiome will be happier, and they will be processing and assimilating that food at a much better rate, rather than closing down and shutting down because it's in a stressed state. It also activates key hormones for fat metabolism. So let's look at some of the gut hormones. So MHE3 also, and these gut hormones, all of these things play a part in the way your body metabolizes fat. So it's important to know these things. And some of these things may be key reasons why you're not able to lose fat, and you've been, you know, butting your head against a brick wall, not really understanding what's happening. These are other areas to look at in terms of, you know, your overall health, and things to take into consideration. So there are some key hormones like leptin and ghrelin, CCK, that's cholecystokinin, GLP-1. Most of you will know that as the like the Ozempic. That's what Ozempic does. It stimulates the GLP-1, but it's from a chemical perspective, and another hormone called PYY. So all of these hormones help with digestion, metabolism, and appetite regulation, which is what MHE3 is doing. It's helping us to improve whatever's not working for us in the current moment. So leptin, what is it? It's known as the satiety hormone. It basically tells the brain it's full. And when you've got something that tells the brain it's full, it's fine. You're not looking for more food. But if you're constantly at the cupboard looking for food, never feeling full, there's a couple of reasons for that. And this is what I work with people very closely with. But there's also that hormone. So, you know, if you're chronically stressed or inflamed, which is very much linked to visceral fat, it can result in leptin resistance. So your brain is not hearing the signals. It's not hearing the signal that says, I'm full. Please stop eating now. It's being overridden. So that's not something really that we, you know, want to be challenged by. Then there's ghrelin, which is the other hormone, which is a hunger hormone. So we've got the satiety, I'm full hormone, and we've got the I'm hungry hormone. And this obviously signals hunger to the brain, because that's important, because we're humans and we need to survive, so we need to eat, right? So it's important to know that we've got to have these hormones. They're not our enemy. We just need to know a little bit about how they work and how we can support them at the end of the day. So ghrelin levels generally rise before meals. They rise before meals, obviously, to tell you that you're hungry, and they fall after you've eaten, not hungry. But chronic stress, poor sleep, and emotional instability will cause excessive hunger and cravings, especially for high-calorie comfort foods. Now, I see this all the time in my clients that are not sleeping. If they're not sleeping, they're constantly craving things, you know, sweet things during the day, or as soon as they get up, it's just their go-to, it's their comfort food. But unfortunately, it's not supporting their body from a health perspective. And so what's the connection between leptin and ghrelin and MHE3? MHE3, it reduces the visceral fat and inflammation in your body. So it helps to restore leptin sensitivity. That's good. We want to be sensitive to it. We don't want to be resistant to it. So when inflammation is lowered, the brain all of a sudden can hear, yeah, I'm full now. I don't need any more. So it's just more open. So that's how MHE3 supports that particular hormone. The other hormone, the ghrelin, MHE3, by switching on, flipping that switch on the vagus nerve, helps to improve the gut health, which indirectly regulates ghrelin production, and it prevents excessive hunger and reduces cravings. And this is another thing that we hear all the time, that people all of a sudden are not craving their thing, whatever that was. They're not hungry, they're not looking for those sweet things. This is a benefit because we're not likely to overeat. We're not likely to, seek those foods that aren't helpful. And I will always say to people, it's just so beneficial if you start bringing all these beautiful fresh foods in. Bring lots more of this in. Eventually, it will just naturally push away the things that aren't helpful for you. So, rather than thinking, oh, I can't have this and I can't have that, and restriction, excessive dieting, because none of those things ever work. But when we naturally start to gravitate away from those foods that aren't helpful for us, and we're having more fresh quality food because you're feeling fuller, you're just not feeling like those things, it's a natural progression to go towards a healthier way of eating. And the things that aren't helpful, they just fade off into the distance. One of my clients is, we did some hypnosis the other day, and we put all those sweet things on a fluffy cloud and they just floated away. She really liked that. So that really resonated with her, because that's what she wanted. She just wanted them to go away. But the fact was her body was constantly craving this stuff. And it's very difficult when you've just got this need and this urge to have this kind of food, when you know that it's not helpful. So this is where MHE3 starts to calm that and regulates your nervous system. You don't feel the need to have it. It's supporting those gut hormones. So that's super, super important to know. And we want to have good digestion because we're going to feel fuller for longer. If we feel fuller for longer, we're just not going to eat as much as we normally anyway. And so it's really assisting us with supporting metabolism and appetite regulation. And that's the other thing, we need to be eating regularly, not irregularly. We need to have a rhythm in the way that we eat, not be arrhythmic or out of rhythm. So eating regularly, same time of the day is really helpful for your body. Rather than grabbing a bit here and there, and your body never knows when it's going to be fed. If it's going to be fed, you might skip meals here and there. Your body's going, whoa, I don't know what's going on. Why am I not being fed? I better hold on to more weight. I better hold on to more fat, because that's part of your survival mechanism. If we had all our fat stripped from our body, we'd die instantly. We've got to have fat. There's all kinds of fats, but we've got to have it. But we want to work to support the good fat, the bad fat, the brown fat. The white fat is there for a purpose, which is to soak up the toxins in our body. But if we don't allow the body to release it, then that's when we run into problems. So let's look at some of these other hormones. Interesting, the cholecystokinin, CCK. This supports digestion and regulates appetite. It's important to know this because MHE3 really supports this hormone. And if this hormone is supported, then that's a big part of us feeling fuller, feeling more satiated, not looking for more than we need, supporting our body from a health perspective. Then there's a GLP-1, the glucagon-like peptide, which improves insulin sensitivity and reduces appetite naturally. So that's most people will know that as being the drugs Ozempic and Mounjaro, which have horrible, nasty side effects. And I come across people that go, I've never had any side effects. It's working fine for me. That's that's a risk that they run if they're not getting the symptoms. That's great. However, there's always these huge risks here. And as soon as they go off the drugs, they'll put the weight straight back on, and it's expensive, and instantly the weight comes back on because their body hasn't learned how to restore or repair itself. It hasn't nothing else has been addressed other than this hormone, whereas MHE3 looks to address your liver, your gallbladder, your pancreas, your gut, your parasympathetic nervous system. It covers all of those parts of you that are put together to create a healthy body, and for the body to be safe to release toxic visceral fat, because it doesn't want to be letting toxic visceral fat float around the bloodstream. It's not safe. If your liver is struggling, it can't filter this fat. If your pancreas isn't working well, if you've got a gallbladder, if you haven't got a gallbladder, your pancreas and your liver are trying to pick up the role of the gallbladder. They're all struggling. So it's really hard for your body to process this stuff. So the safest place to put visceral fat is in fat cells. So what the toxicity in white fat cells, that's what it's designed for. So this is where MHE3 does all of those things, and it's not just one targeted thing. This is why there's so many other incredible side benefits. And then there is the PYY. So it looks at all of these, and the PYY boosts metabolism and reduces fat storage. So that is another benefit. How are we going for time? Okay. Oh, time's just disappeared. My goodness. So the science of fat burning is really to understand those triggers, and this is what the brown fat does. It triggers, or MHE3 triggers the thermogenesis and burns visceral fat, the thermogenesis created by the brown fat. And it mimics the effect of an ice bath without the chill. Who has had an ice bath before? Oh, me. It's not something that I am keen to do. But many people do. Sports enthusiasts do, because it helps with inflammation. Some people will do it specifically for fat loss. But it's not a comfortable thing. The fellow doesn't look too comfortable. There was a picture of a girl who looked very comfortable. I didn't sort of believe that she would be feeling like that for very long. However, thermogenesis converts stored fat into energy to produce heat. So this is where the MHE3 works internally to create thermogenesis without jumping into an ice bath. So it mimics the fat burning effects of an ice bath without freezing all your bits off. And it also helps to stimulate the vagus nerve to trigger the fat burn down. So to sort of bring all that together, when you put MHE3 into your body, it stimulates receptors in your gut, which sends signals to your brain via the vagus nerve, the communication link between your brain and body. This triggers the release of hormones that activate the brown adipose fat that burns the harmful white visceral fat that's stored around your organs. So the result is you naturally burn more energy, you feel better, healthier, and everything is way more balanced. So what happens if we don't get rid of this visceral fat? Ew, this is what happens. This is the healthy side, normal. This is very unhealthy. Now, you may have heard of fatty liver disease. There's alcoholic fatty liver disease, and there's fatty liver disease not caused by alcohol, but the liver looks exactly the same. So there's all this horrible fat. This does not look healthy. This looks quite pink and healthy. So toxic visceral fat just lands in all parts of your body, most specifically around your midsection, i.e. And if we're carrying lots of visceral fat, it results in something metabolic syndrome, which you may or may not be aware of, or you may not have heard of. But it's a cluster of conditions, a whole heap of conditions that come together, that occur at the same time. And some people may have heard of it as referred to as Syndrome X. But what are these things? It affects the metabolic syndrome is where you get a cluster of conditions like heart disease or stroke or type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, insulin resistance, low levels of good cholesterol, low levels of good cholesterol, or high blood triglycerides. So this is not healthy, obviously, for a human body. And, you know, some people say, well, how do I know I've got metabolic syndrome, or how do I know that I've got visceral fat? Well, you know, I'd be whipping out the tape measure and just having a bit of a quick guide. Now, I'm sorry, that's inches. I haven't gone and you know, put that into centimeters, but I think most tape measures are inches and centimeters on both sides now. But look, 40% of people 60 years and older are affected by metabolic syndrome. You know, a loss of just 3 to 5% of your current body weight can lower your risk of metabolic syndrome. You don't need to lose a lot, but this is certainly very dangerous. It results in higher blood pressure, triglycerides are up, and challenges with your cholesterol. And about 85% of people who have type 2 diabetes also have metabolic syndrome. So this is I think it's really super important to be aware of, you know, when you're looking at your health and what effects it's having on your body, all the other parts of you that are struggling. You know, I'm just really all for supporting your body. It's got you through life to this stage, and whatever stage of life you have, you've only got so many summers to go. I think there's a skit by Eddie Murphy who talks about how many summers we've got to go, and you know, depending on what age of life you are, you want whatever you've got left. You want to have energy to be enjoying this time for your life. If you've worked really, really hard all the way up to your retirement years, and then, you know, you want to retire and, you know, go and have a good time, and you're too tired to do that, or you just don't feel, there's no energy, or you're, you know, low mood, whatever it is, that's such a shame. You've worked so hard to you know, to have some quality time in your life. And this is what I'm super passionate about, is helping people to live their best life, whatever that is, but, you know, do the things that they want to do in the way that they want to do them, to have the energy and the, you know, sense of vitality to do that and experience what there is to have in life and around the world. So the holistic health benefits, just as really a recap, improves digestion because it enhances nutrient absorption. Remember, the little microbiome guys in your gut, they're happier, they're going to you know, process and assimilate more food. It slows gastric motility, which means you're going to feel fuller for longer. It lowers stress and inflammation by activating the parasympathetic nervous system, the relaxation response, rest and digest. It's the healing state. It supports toxin elimination through visceral fat breakdown. It's really, really important to get rid of those toxins in your body, but your body needs to feel safe to do so. And so this is where this product will go, this extract will go in and seek out the parts of you that aren't happy, i.e. in my case, my gut not happy, before it will start working in other areas. And it's individualized repair and restoration, unique to each person's needs. How incredible is that? So toxic visceral fat, but there's also, different reasons why different people have attained that fat. But there's all these other side benefits, like, my fingernails are growing better. My migraines, for instance, they're not debilitating like they used to be. I'm fully functional while I'm having a migraine attack now, whereas before I was out. My energy levels have improved. My bloating and my gut health has improved immensely. My mind I'm so much clearer. I haven't got this foggy brain and not forgetting things like I used to. So I'm noticing so many little differences that are making a huge difference to the quality of my life. And this is what I want for others. And so this is just a small range of things that since the hops product has been used across the world in earnest in the last 5 months, that Dr. Phil Carson, who is a registered pharmacist and doctor of pharmacy, and I must point out these statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration, and this product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. But these are the things that people are noticing. So, it's interesting. And like I said, there's so many things on here. I've read about people using it with their pets, horses with Cushing's disease. Now, I don't actually even know what Cushing's disease is, but they just went, this is amazing for their horses. So there are just so many ways unexpectedly that this will support your body to be the healthiest version of itself. And that's what I love. And that has a magnificent ripple effect right through the community. So what sets it apart from any other weight management, its solution or whatever's out there, it's natural. It's fully natural. It's an extract. It's got no reported side effects. It's been backed by research. It supports overall holistic health. It's not targeted to one thing. It's everything. And for me, it really promotes a paradigm shift in the way that we approach weight loss. So for the last 6 years, I've really been focusing on weight loss for my clients. I've always taught them that it's not about the scales. It's not about numbers. It's about your internal health, because when we start to change the health of the inside of our body, externally we start noticing differences as well. And this is exactly what this product does. I work from the mind state, so does this. I get to the root cause with the other techniques that I use, with hypnosis and neurolinguistics. But this absolutely supports me, supports my clients to elevate their results. And this paradigm shift is really teaching people a different way of thinking about their weight, because it's just, in, 5 months, 25,000 people were on this. And so that's 25,000 people that are learning a different way of supporting their body from a health perspective, rather than eating less and moving more. Which is typically the way that we've been taught over many, many years. So it's changing people's mindsets. It's changing the way that they view life, how other people view them, having calmer relationships, sleeping better. There's just so many things from all ages, young to 90-year-olds, experiencing benefits from this. So addressing inflammation, which is a huge hitter from the dis-ease perspective, hormonal imbalances, women going through menopause, they're noticing huge changes. The metabolic challenges with metabolic syndrome. So, it's addressing all of those things. It promotes sustainable weight loss and mind-body health. So it's not really about the weight, it's about fat loss. But people are still sort of got that mindset around it's all about weight, but no, it's about the fat. It's about that nasty, toxic, visceral fat. and it helps to support your energy, digestion, and holistic wellness for everyone. Men and women, this is not just about women. Men are getting incredible results as well. So this is about empowering your body's natural intelligence with the science of MHE3. By working with your body systems, not against them, MHE3 helps restore balance, ignite fat burning, and nurture holistic wellness, creating true homeostasis. And that's what I love about what the implications for this. And so that brings this presentation to the end. Whoever has invited you along tonight, then please get back to that person if you would like to know more about MHE3. Get back to the person that invited you here tonight. So this has been recorded, and I will be sending out the replay, and I will also be contacting you individually. You know, I'll send out the replay to everyone, but for the purpose of now, I'm going to stop the recording and open it up for Q&A.